Ciao, Kaidi. How you doing, man?
Ciao, Patrick. Yeah, I'm good, Patrick.
You good?
Patrica. Yes, sir.
I was listening to this, man. The High Fashion Make Up Your Mind record. Remember we were talking the other day about Mauro Malavasi and, you know, Change, the BB and Q band and, you know, all of that. So I was wondering, man, if like boogie and especially jazz funk, were you already into that from the beginning?
Already into that from the beginning. Because my family were very from the era. So it was boogie orientated, and then you go around to cousin's house and it was just boogie, kashif, everything. So that was already instilled in me.
Wow.
From
okay. So
day one.
You were a kid, just a kid. Yeah.
Just music was around us 24/7, which was great, you know, even from my mom and my dad, and then I'll go around to my aunties, and it was just music all the time. There was no TV. You know, we watched our cartoons and stuff, man, but it was just, we would go and just in the living room and just dance, man.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, yeah, music was always there. But when did you actually start doing music? Probably really early on, right?
Mum put me on flute. I always wanted to play drums or saxophone. So I started lessons on flute. I must have been good because the music teacher was like, you know, giving me private lessons. And I remember she would be sitting on the piano and she would be like, you know, she'd just be talking to me like this all the time. And I'm thinking, what is she doing? And realizing that note was C. I was just sitting there, what is that note about? It's a perfect fourth, so on, perfect fifth, minor third. I didn't know any of this. And then I realized later on that have perfect pitch. Sometimes what I think the older you get, it's there, but it's kind of relative. Sometimes I'm a semitone out also, but I have perfect pitch, which is a blessing and a bloody curse because I can be in the room, the washing machine's in G, birds are singing in some other blasted key, and I'm like, oh God, man, stop it, man. But yeah, I have crazy pitch.
Was the flute like a kind of a standard? Because in Italy, when I was a kid at school, the flute was like, you know, you had the music class and everyone, I mean, they were forcing you to play the flute. I wouldn't say that was teaching or music, you know, it's just basically teaching you to play that instrument, but not really kind of, I mean, I wasn't enjoying it much personally, you know. Was that the same for you, or do you really want to play the flute at the time?
No, I didn't.
You didn't?
No, I didn't want to play flute. But I think at that time, few people were on flute, and then they had to like delegate which instrument kids, so they were like,
okay,
oboe and clarinet and stuff, man. So they wanted like a woodwind band. So they thought the only black guy playing flute, so I was lead flute. And I was like,
okay,
lead first flute. I got into the National Children's Wind Orchestra of Great Britain, I remember, and we were doing a few shows there.
How old are you?
How old am I now?
No, at the time when this happened.
At the time it was 11, 12. I started flute about 9 or 10. And I think the orchestra was when I was, it was 11 or 12. I think my mum still has the newspaper cuttings of me in the newspaper with my Tintin haircut and my big ass Wrangler glasses. Shame. Big ass glasses, man. But yeah, good times, man, you know.
And then you started playing keys or other instruments. Was that after a while?
That was after a while when we moved to London in 92, 93. And we moved to South London, Thornton Heath. I was in trouble in the Midlands. And just moved down to London, and I applied for a course in Selhurst, but I didn't have the grades. I think you're supposed to have 2 A-levels. And I went for an audition and I got in on my flute. I just done just some random stuff, man. You know, and they were like, oh wow, he's got some talent. And then it was a 2-year course. And it was like, I wasn't really interested in any of the work. It was like learning about Mozart and all the classical composers. And I was like, I just want to go down in the studio, because every Tuesday and Friday there was a gospel choir that came in. And I remember this dude came and sat. There was a massive hall, massive grand piano. And man, the chords I was hearing from this dude, man, and I was like, I just used to just watch. And I remember he just played this mad C chord, and I was just like writing down the notes.
Okay.
And then I'd go in the other room
and try it.
And my thumb was hurting, so I'd be like, oh my God, what's he doing? So I'd be there just for ages, stretching my thumb and stuff. And then I met this guy called Kester Liddon. And badass, man. He was just really talented. He had some lovely chords. And I'm like, yo, dude, he's like, yo, come. And he would be showing me some things. I'd be writing them down, and then I'll be going in the other room and just practicing. And that was when I discovered Herbie Hancock, Chameleon.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And he bought in the album. And I looked on the back and I just saw all these keyboards, man. I'm like, what the hell was that? What about Fender Rhodes and stuff, and Arp, Moog? And he said, yeah, man, I've got a studio in Richmond. He lived in St. Margaret's. And used to go around his house, and he had those alias drum machine. He had a few keyboards, and we were just making some beats. And we just play some keys. And then he introduced me to a guy called Jake Werry. He had a studio around the corner in St. Margaret's. So I was in and out, going to college, and then a few days a week I'd come down to St. Margaret's. Then I met with Jake. He had a studio, lots of records, and he had lots of keyboards and stuff. And we just started to make music. We just making music. And that's when the Herbaliser was born. Because
I was going to ask you about it.
Yeah, so he used to come on with a lot of records that would sample and stuff, man.
Right.
And that's when I met Mickey Moody. His dad is the guitarist of Whitesnake. And then Wicked drummer. Then met Patrick Dawes, played percussion. And there were people always in and out.
Right.
You know. So the Herbaliser was born. And the reason why the Herbaliser was born was there's a composer called Peter Herbaliser. He's like a big German composer.
Yeah.
And they said, oh, Peter Herbaliser. And that was it. Even though we smoked weed, you know what I mean? That wasn't why.
Yeah, cool. Yeah.
The name, it was like, I don't know who said it. It said, Peter Herbaliser. And it was like, oh, it's called the Herbaliser. Yeah, we all smoke. But then Malachi, he introduced me to a world, because he knew, oh, you love music and you're a bit of a G on the keys. And I thought, oh, I'm just learning, because I picked up things pretty quickly. So I used to go around his house, just come around, and I'd just sit down, whirl of records, man, and he'd be just playing me stuff. Like,
wow.
He introduced me to Barry Miles, flipping Don Blackman, all the deep stuff, and I would just be looking on the album covers going, wow, and looking who's playing who, George Duke. So he took me on the world
of record collect, like buying records, listening.
I was like 18, 18.
Okay, wow.
19, hearing all this stuff, and like just blew my mind. And I'm still getting all those records today. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So that's still part. That's still essential part. Collecting records and actually looking at who's playing what, who produced what, when it came out, the labels.
So important.
You can't get that same thing with digital music. You can't get. It's just different.
No,
right?
Very, very different. And then it was like, oh my God, the Mizell brothers. Who are these Mizell brothers? Realised.
Oh wow.
My favourite man was there. And then I'd be like, is that Harvey Mason playing drums? And he just looked at me and he went, how did you know? It's just his sound.
Right.
So I was always,
right.
I was always listening and listening. Everyone had a pocket and sound. The same with James Gadson. He just had this thing with his hi-hat with little shorts, but you know it's him.
You know, it's him.
James Gadson. You know what I mean? And that was like Patrice Russian. I knew of her, but I didn't know of her properly. So hearing her first album, Prelusion, with the afro, standing outside that piano, and I'm like, yeah, man, jazz? How old was she? She was like young as well, 19 or something.
Yeah, she was.
And I was like, you're playing with Oscar Bashir and you got, pronounce his name, Ondugu on drums.
Right.
And I was just blown away. So he was like, more music. Latin, samba, everything. He was just blew my mind. Hearing Caesar Mariana for the first time. Oh my Lord. You know, my mind was blown. So it was like, I just want to make music. I didn't know how to. I was scared. Didn't know anything about the computer or anything. Right. So I was just playing live.
Right. Okay. Is that when you started, when you met with, like, because then with IG and, you know, all the Bugz and other, you know, people that were like central in.
That was later on.
That was later on. That was later on. Like, and that was in the 90s, right?
Yes. So with IG, I was doing a session at Dego's, and I met Bembe Segway, and we used to write all the time. And she was like, oh, you have to meet my partner, IG. You know what I mean? He's like, serious producer. I'm like, okay. You know, I was sitting in my rude boy phase, man, and went around his house. Hey, man, I'm Kaidi. Yeah, what you saying, man? I said, yeah, I've heard about you, man. He goes, yeah, man, I was playing a bit of keys. I was playing some keys, listening to music. And he was surprised how much music I know. Just putting out albums. Yeah, I know that. You should know that. You should know that. And we got on so well. It was like, you know, I've met him in a past life. Then we just started to just make music. And he pushed me. I was like, I can't do that. Yes, you can. And I would play and he would just push me and push me and push me because he knew that I could. You know, some really awkward stuff. I was like, flipping out, what is going on here, man? I didn't know I could hear it, but he kept pushing me to do that, play it like that. Okay, I'd work it out. And we got on so well. Working with him is probably the best producer I've ever worked with. Him and Dego. He pushed me so far, which was really good, and I enjoyed working with him so much because it was beyond me. It was different. Still to this day, man, I'm like, you know, I always think, you know, one day we will reconnect and get back. But yeah, he taught me so much, you know, and I think it's vice versa. We learned a lot from each other. And his drum programming and the way he heard things was pretty unique, you know. And at that time, I was just excited. I was just running around to his house, go to the Bugz, go see Dego, run around and see Phil. People wanted a session. Madaji, everyone. It was like, yeah, have you heard about this guy called Kaidi? I'm like, yo. And it was like the best times. I was running around everywhere. But IG, I have to say, he's top tier.
And Liquid Biscuit, right, was
yeah, man, the Liquid Biscuit, man, because you can't get inside Biscuit, man. It's such you can't get inside. And we were laughing so much because what a title. Yeah, it's called it Liquid Biscuit, man, because, you know, you can't get inside the biscuit, man, because you can't penetrate that.
Right.
And we were doing something very special, man. It was like, I used to be buzzing so much, man. I'm just thinking, yo, man, this is amazing. And
I mean, I still find peace within, man.
Pure high.
That?
Yeah, the peace within. Oh my God,
man! I still play that. I mean, that is just, yeah, man. And there's I think more or less, right? Because I obviously wasn't around at that time. I suppose I was too young, you know. But like that around the same time, a couple of years later, maybe early 2000s. I remember. I mean, this, you know, Betcha did. I remember buying this in Verona here at the record store at Le Disc, but this was years later because, like I said, I wasn't around at the time. And I remember listening to this the first time, man, it was like mind-blowing, still is mind-blowing, right? So is this the one probably after Arms Are There, right? This is one of the first albums, first, you know, EPs that was fully done, produced and played by you, right?
Yes. Izzi had a studio just right round the corner, and I was like, Izzi, do you want to be part of this? And she was like, well, cool. And she was like, cool, because we used to like work together. Any help she needed, I was there. And she like done the vocal in about half an hour.
Wow.
It was crazy. And I was just sitting there going, wow. And I was like, you play strings as well? And you sing? So I was saying, you know, just follow the line. And she got it straight away. Very talented, man. That was done in a day.
Wow.
And I remember everyone was rushing in. They're like, what is this tune? I'm like, yo, gotta put this out. You know, so everyone done their little dubs and stuff, man. But that was the start, man.
Was that the start? Yeah. So there is a specific moment where you think like that you started doing everything basically, or was it? You were just messing? You were just trying loads
just
of
messing
stuff,
around, just trying things,
all the
man.
time.
Just experimented, all the time. I didn't, you know. It's nice to work with people, and I enjoyed working with people. I think when I started to do things on my own, I think it was In Search of Hope when I got my little computer and stuff. And there was a time when I had no keyboard, so I was drawing in chords, drawing in solos and stuff. That was a little bit on In Search of Hope. So that was when I was like, yeah, I can do things myself, man. And then it kind of just grew from there, you see, man. You know, just listening to other people's techniques and sounds, how they produced, like, you know, listening to Seiji, how he puts his beats together, because everything was so clean and nice there, or a nice kick, and it starts from there. And then Domu, I mean, first time I heard him, he was 17, and there was one of his tracks was being played, and I think it was on the 2000 Black compilation. I'm trying to remember which track it was. I was getting it wrong, but it was just like ahead of its time. And I was like, did you play keys on this? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, one of the baddest things I've ever heard. I'm trying to remember the name of the track, but it was just, it's absolutely disgusting. And that's when I knew, man, there's some very talented people aren't ready for this music, because it's so far ahead, and it still is. People now are still playing catch up after 25 years.
Yeah, man, it's true. So this was basically the seed, let's say, from then your solo.
That was like the seed. Yeah, that was like the.
So let me play this, man.
Sure, bro. That was right. It was the DMX on the beats. Yeah, it was just so much fun, just knowing that I had had the percussion over there and stuff, man, and all these keyboards around. It was just heaven, bro,
Playground, yeah.
It was like, you know, good flipping times, man. I do miss those times, working with people, you know, and that's the thing. There's nothing beats working with people, you know, feeding off other energies and ideas and stuff, man. I've got to the point, yes, I can do it all myself because I can hear everything now. I couldn't hear it, everything, you know, but there's nothing beats working with people. That is the best, you know. Because there's a lot of people that work by themselves, and it's like, you know, then they can't work as a unit.
Right.
You know?
And then you probably get that probably stuck on certain patterns and certain patterns or ideas. So I get what you're saying, yeah, totally.
But you thought that I'd wait patiently for you. But you did. And I bet you thought that I've got nothing better to do. I bet you did. And I bet you thought you were the man of my dreams. I bet you did. And I bet you thought you could do as you please. I bet you did. Bet you thought you were so good I'd never fade. Bet you did. Bet you did. Bet you thought you could eat this and still eat cake. Bet you did. Bet you did. Bet you thought a girl like me ain't got the nerve. Bet you did. Bet you did. Bet you thought I'd never kick you to the curb. Bet you did. Bet you did. Bet you thought I would forgive your wicked ways. Bet you did.
And yeah, last one I'm gonna pick from that period, man, was like the Modaji album.
Wow. Rest in peace, my brother.
Man? Yeah, man. I never met him, but like, and
Beautiful guy.
And there's a track here called Shoka's Joint, right? You remember that?
Yes, I do.
Is that the start, the origin of the name Shokazulu, or?
Nope.
No.
That was from the Herbaliser. That was from the Herbaliser day.
What was?
The very first album, my name, Shoka. It was, they used to call me Shocks because I used to shock people, man. You know what I mean? Yeah. Just like, yo, my Shocks, man. You're just like, how do you do that?
Oh,
how did you make that sound?
Right. Oh, okay. So that was Shokazulu then?
Shocker, man. Yeah, so they called me Shocks, man. It was like Ralph Lamb. he used to call me Shocks. Yo, Shocks, man. I said, yeah, that's my nickname, man, because Shocker T, man. Yeah. So that's how it came, man. It's crazy how my alias Shokazulu, and then I was realised, I did tell Dego, I did say to him, yes, yeah, my nickname is to be Shocks, man. So yeah, man, Shokazulu, man. The original Shocker T, man. You know what I mean?
Wow, man. So how was it working with Modaji? And yeah, you mentioned Phil earlier. That was, I mean, that
all
was
the time.
You were saying that was
all the
like
time.
the West London, right, scene at the time. Man.
It was
There's so many talents, so many people. I mean, it must have been maybe too much.
Working.
You know? Kind of, yeah.
It was too much, but
I mean, in a good way.
Very enjoyable, in a very good way. You know, those were the days where I used to smoke a lot. You know, so you know, a lot of things I can remember, and a lot of things I can't, because everything was like just a puff of smoke. Right. And I was known, man, for just mashing up people smoking. You know what I mean? Don't do that shit anymore, man. Do you know what I mean? No, yeah, those days are done. But at the time, it was amazing. Smoking the best weed and making the best music, you know, hearing your music out in the clubs. So we make the music,
and then you could go,
take your dub plates, and go to the club. But I didn't really want to go. I wanted to just go back to the studio and work. So
you didn't really want to go to clubs? You not really?
Sometimes I did, man. So on the Fridays, you know, you would, you know, go down to the arts club. And they'd be like, when it's all finished, let's go back to the studio. back to
I
the
just
studio.
wanted to stay in the studio. Yeah, but the thing with dub plates, man, at the time must be incredible, right? I mean, you're doing music, and then, I mean, there was actually an effort to get, you know, to have the dub plates, play them out, promo, you know, give the records around to people playing it, hearing your music on a system. I mean, that must have been special. I mean, it's not,
That was special, bro. Really
because there was actually an effort behind it instead of, you know, putting your music on a stick or a CD. I mean, it's different. You know, you had to actually put the work in to hear to hear that music on, you know, in clubs and on systems, you know. So incredible, man. And and also Dego, obviously, that early 2000. I mean, from that point onwards, we did so much music together, and
incredible.
I always think, like, I would love to be there, just, you know, as a fly, looking at you two in the studio. How did that run?
laughing, just jokes. Right. Everything was just happened, just spontaneous. There was no like, oh, we're gonna do a tune like this or a tune like that. Right. We just walk in, play some keys, and it'd be like, put that down. And it just come to do like just a random beat. Just not random, but it's just play.
You go with the flow, right?
Just go with the flow. And I'll be like, yo, it's bad. Straight away. Just play. And things just happen. It was like the days of Cousin Cockroach.
Oh, yeah.
And I used to come in the studio. He's such a raw jar, man. You know what I mean? And he would try and test me so much, like have the most awkward shit playing. So I'd just walk in and go. Then I'd just sit like the keys and I'd be like, and he'd be like, how'd you get that, man? I'm trying to mash you up.
Did he ever mash you?
He tried.
He tried.
He tried his hardest.
Right.
He tried his hardest. But I think there may be one tune I just had to like just go like that. But no, I would get it. Right. He always used to test me, you know. I tell you, that studio was amazing, and the things we've done. It's just having all the keyboards around. You go in the other room, the drum kit, that piano we had, you know, the Polymoog. Damn, man, he had the sound, you know, and when you've got the sound, we were just making music, and it was flipping amazing. I'm very blessed to be part of that. And still now, you know, we are writing, but not as much. But it will come back, you know. It will definitely come back. We're just going through little phases, you know, but like it will definitely come back, you know.
Life.
Yeah.
There are so many, man. I mean, so many records. I mean, got me puzzled. I mean, the obvious ones, but like there's one, man, that I was listening to the other day.
I knew you were going to pull that out. I knew you were going to pull that out.
Yeah, man. I mean, do you know which one I'm going to pick from here? From Dego and Kaidi Sound Signature album.
Surprise me, rude boy.
It's All For Us.
See
you remember that? Man, I was listening to this the other day here with Enrico and Volko. And yeah, this is one of those tracks that I was thinking, I mean, I'm sure you don't remember exactly that moment, or probably you do, but like that's one of those examples that how did it unfold, you know? It was just basically jamming, and then, I like this idea, do it again, and then structuring it, you know, later, or just...
It just happens, bro. There's a higher beam, and sometimes you just black out, and you just don't know what's happened. Things just happen with certain people. You just know when you've got that nod, it's like, yo, put that down, or just put that down. It just happens really, really quickly, man. And that's what I love, man. It's like, we don't think about it.
Yeah, think about it. It just comes, wow. So even arrangements, and it just comes the way it comes, basically.
It's just the way it comes, yeah. Because he's got the same mind, you know. Just like, yeah. Because he knows a lot of music. And I'm just blown away about the things that he's shown me as well, man. You know, it's that era of like, you dig for music, you know what I mean? You go and find music, man, you know. It's never ending. It's never going to stop. Always going to be searching for that tune.
Oh, yeah. You're never going to have all the music you want, man.
No,
It's impossible, man. I know. That's what keeps you going, right? Just searching, looking. So yeah, you mentioned earlier about the In Search of Hope album.
Yes.
And you were saying, people obviously enjoy working with other people, but I think that was the first like full album you did, and then more recently, there's like all the First Word albums, but you did loads, man. I mean, it's like impossible to trace everything. I'm interested to know like the solo. Do you have when you're working on solo projects, on an album or on tracks or remixes? Do you have like do you just go with the flow, or do you have kind of?
I just go with there is no theme.
There is no theme. There's no kind of creative
nothing.
Something you just go.
Just
whatever
play.
comes.
I just go. Sometimes I'm just like I'll just be random. I'll go. You know what, Kaidi? I'm just gonna do something just mad. Just I don't care. Put one snare there. Put a snare there. Just get some hats.
Okay.
I like to have a rhythm, so I'll probably just get like a loop, or I'll just play conga or something, so I can have something to bounce to, and then I just don't even think about it.
So the rhythm comes first. I mean, normally, like. Not always. I suppose
it can start with
the
bass.
keys,
It can start with the chords.
Right.
It can start with percussion. It can start with a string or a sound. It can start with anything, and then I just hear things. And then I can just hear things. Okay, and it just comes.
It just comes.
There is no like, oh, I'm going to do this tune today, or I'm going to do this tune. Apart from later on, I'd say, last year I done an album where it's actually, I want it to sound like this and do like an 80s theme album with me singing, and that's another thing, because I'm like, I can pitch notes and stuff, and I've done a lot of chants and stuff, from back in the day with the Bugz and stuff and all that. I'll do little chants and stuff, man. But singing is a big deal. You put your heart and soul, and it's like, everyone can hear you. Everyone can hear you. It's not good. But like a lot of people have said, yep, you got a good voice and I can hold a note. And I say to myself, I should have done this a long time ago, but I don't think I was ready for it. Especially with my music. That's probably why my music is instrumental.
Right.
I feel, because trying to find people who can actually flex on my music, because you have to, I know the chords are going everywhere, but it makes sense. It's there for a reason. So just by picking the right notes with the chords,
right,
makes it work. So that's probably why, it's not the word scared. Yeah, scared to get people on my track, because they have to be in the same room as me if it's going to be right.
Right. Singing probably was like the new instrument. You got to a point where you wanted to experiment with that too, kind of thing, right? Probably.
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, you got to a point where, I want to try this too. I mean, you always did it, but maybe more recently a bit more kind of into that side of things too, right?
I think it takes things to happen in your life, and then you just realize, oh, I've got something to sing about, something to talk about. And remember when I said to you, oh, I'm just going to sing it. No, I'll do it.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I remember.
I'll do it,
clearly, man. I remember, yeah.
And I feel as a musician, I still got a lot to give. There's still a lot more to come out. When you can feel it, I can feel it. I want to do film scores. Like, I would love to do film scores, man, because I love that whole mysterious things and the strings and all that harp and stuff. And that's the technology now is fantastic.
Oh, wow, yeah.
With all the horns and the strings and all the stuff that's out there now, man. And being able to have that sound on your laptop now.
So yeah, so you're not. I mean, are you nostalgic towards like analog gear or having? What's your setup now? How did it change during the years? I mean, you're saying it's like it's different, right? But you can't really say it's better or worse. It's all about what you're using, basically, and how you use it, right?
It's how you use it.
Right.
I was writing a lot of songs on Reason.
Right.
People didn't know, oh, what's that sound? Oh, that's a mad ass synth, man. And I'm like, that's just stock. It's the ears, isn't it, man? If you want that sound, you can make any sound you want.
Right.
There's a lot of people that have gear. They have all this gear. What are you doing? What are you doing?
Right. A lot of people get
Don't get me wrong. I have my Rhodes. I have my ARP. I have my Juno. I have my string machine. I have my stuff here.
Mm.
MIDI keyboard, computer, and I could destroy you.
I know.
And that's it.
Very well.
Microphone done. And that's it. I've come to the point where, I have an orchestra on my computer. And that's how it's become now because of the technology and the sounds. It sounds so real. Like I have 9, 10 Rhodes.
Mm.
They're all different.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? But no one can tell because, that's an amazing sound on the Rhodes. It's like...
But that's one of your, I mean, it's you too, man, because, I mean, you can tell there's a lot of music out there and you can tell that the sounds are just, people say, that's digital, sounds digital. It's not, I don't think it's not so much about being digital, it's how you're making that specific plug-in or sound, right?
Yeah.
It's sort of that. And you have this thing where everything you do and you play, it just sounds so, it's breathing, right? Everything you do is breathing music.
Yeah, it's because I've listened to so much music and I listen to, say, with programming drums. It's like, it's not just boot, cut. There's the little ghost notes, there's the little rolls. You want to let the drums breathe. So, I know if I'm going to program something, I can make it sound like a real drummer, because I know how it should sound,
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I don't know, it's just, I've listened to so much music. I know what to do. It's, it's not me being big-headed or anything. It's just I've done my homework for a lot of years.
Time, yeah.
For a long time, so I know I can fool people into thinking who's playing those drums. Like from those early 2000 and Black, even I listen back and I'm like, how the hell did I do that?
Right.
And it's just me just listening and like knowing, like I'm actually there sitting on the drum kit. So, I'm actually playing it live.
Right.
I wish I could. You know what I'm saying? But listen to music, listen to all kind of music, and I'm very blessed that what I can hear, I can put it down.
Mm.
And that's the main thing, That took a long time, bro. That took a very long time,
I can imagine, man. It does take time. I think it's normal, it's natural, right? And is this the same with like DJing? I mean, I know you DJing a lot more.
Yeah.
You've been collecting records for ages. Did DJ never really, I don't know, did something happen or you just started playing records and say,
all the Bugz were DJing, yeah. They were all DJing. And I was like, I could do that. Right. Everyone's getting, I'm like, I could try that, man. It's like, try to beat match. And that was the first thing, learn how to beat match and stuff. But the main thing I find that I'm still learning with DJing is knowing your records. That's the main thing.
That's the main thing, man.
It's like knowing your records. And I used to have a bit of anxiety sometimes playing with a Dego because it's one of the things trying to know someone how they play and stuff. And I would like to go sideways and go crazy and sometimes change the BPMs and stuff. And there's times where I'll be like, am I okay? Am I doing the right thing? I'm like, oh, I don't want to let anyone down. And then I'll get nervous. And then when you get nervous, you like just like fold, man. But like, even now, just always do you. And at the end of the day, it's not about mixing. It's about
selection.
Play the tune. Selection,
man.
Yeah. Be a selector.
Playing the tune
is so important now. Like, you know, there's a lot of DJs, they do play safe.
Oh yeah.
And it's like they play safe just because they want to get booked again. You know what I mean? You know, it's like, oh, want to get booked again and it's play safe. I'm like, I'm not here to play safe. It's good to play music that people know. As the late Phil, as the rest in peace, said to me, you get the gal them dancing, the man them will follow. Get the girls them dancing. You know, it's a very simple thing. I don't care if people have heard this tune 1,000 times, man. You play music. If you're playing for a certain amount of time, then, you know, play music. Then you can do your thing and go deeper. Yeah. You go deep. Then it's come back. You know what I mean? But there's always do you,
man. It's what you. It's also what you play before it, after it. What the story you're telling, right? I mean, in the story you're telling, you want. But that's the main thing. But I can tell, man. You enjoy DJ, man. I mean, I can tell, man. It's like this. Do you kind of like compared to maybe doing like a live session or like a studio session or you need to go to a gig and DJ? With DJing, is it like, do you kind of prepared some way? Do you, or no, you just no? I'm just curious, man. But then you just go the same way you do everything. The same way you do everything else.
I'm gonna play this tune and then
no. I'm not
play this.
No. I'm not saying that. I'm saying, but like, you know, if you've got a record bag, I mean, now we've got digital, so you can go wherever you want, right? But like, if you had or only a folder and a USB that you can use, you know, you have to put the records in your bag. So the way you put the records in your bag is just like looking at records, say, oh, I would like to play this, or I would like to play that. Just put them in the record bag like that. Or there's a process. I mean, fast stuff, slow stuff, souls,
of course,
a bit of brass, a bit of new stuff. I mean,
safe. I was playing just vinyl, which hasn't happened for a long time.
Right.
That's when I think you have to go, okay, let me get like things like a 110. Let me get the few of the 110. Get the boogie stuff. Get the 114 and your 115. Yeah. That's when you have to, like, you know, because you can't flop then, you know what I'm saying? Because now that you have your sticks. But if I was to do an all vinyl gig, I think I would have to, like, you know, go, okay, here, few tunes of that,
Yeah.
Some fast stuff.
So you have
some man stuff.
Okay, yeah.
I will probably have to take 2 bags. You know, I mean, just have that and then just have some random stuff.
Yeah, I mean, you know how it is. You never, even if you think, oh, we really want to play that, then you could end up not playing it, playing something else that was you didn't really plan on playing, right? That's the beauty of it.
So, but having these USB sticks, it's like, you know, it's all too easy, man. But then again, because a lot of my stuff is not categorized, man, trying to find things makes it even more stressful, man, because you're trying to find this bloody tune and you can't find it, and then you're going, oh my God, it's 15 seconds left, man, and I'm like, yo, shit, man, I can't find the tune. It's too much stress. So
I know
I want to go back to vinyl, you know, so you know what you've got. This is what you're playing, and that's that. And I want to get back to that old school way, you know, or like, you know, or sorting out my USB stick. But then you have vinyl, which, do I want to bring that out just in case that mashes up, man? And then you're like, okay, you want to digitize it, but then it's
not the same thing, is it?
It's not the same thing. It's like a trophy. It's like, yo, man's got the album. Yeah, he's and you get that nod.
Yeah. showing off.
Yeah, of course, man. Damn right. Like, show off. Yeah, I got that, man. I'm like, man's like, yeah. You're the real deal there. Yeah. Cool.
But vinyl, man, I mean, we're so really, man, I mean, here to, you know, press your records. It's just,
Yeah.
I mean, it's like coming full cycle, you know. I mean, you DJ'd with us, you know, at the Mother Tongue when we opened here. So you were here when we opened in 2019, you know. So now, fast forward 6 years.
6 years, yeah.
Yeah, man. So it's just like an honor, man. I'm gonna want to play the latest, the Shokazulu, man. Yeah, and gotta leave you with this, man. So thanks for the chat.
You're welcome, Patrick.
Grazie, Kaidi. Speak to you soon, man.
Yeah, man. Peace, man, and love, man. Easy.
that come to you.